All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. And let's just hop right into things. By watching or reading this, you're saying you understand the following. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not trading advice. This session is solely for educational purposes. There's significant financial risk associated with options trading, and I'm not liable for your wins or losses in the market if you decide to act on this information. So let's just see how things ended on Friday as far as options flow. So on Friday, the top call options flow went to AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft, AVGO, ARM, and HD. On the put side, we had Apple, Amazon, HYG, SMH, and SRPT. For the week, the top call options flow went into Microsoft, NVIDIA, ARM, AMD, and VRTX. On the put side, it was Apple, Meta, SMH, Tesla, and Okta. Move on. Okay, so here's our profits for the year. So from January 2nd through May the 9th, one contract per trade alert delivered a net profit of $29,402, averaging 192.17% per profit per trade, with an ROI of 11,761% for the $250 membership and a 16,800% ROI for the $175 membership. So that's what our updated profits are for the year. Profits for January, we cleared 4,600 per single option. February, we cleared over $8,400 for February per single option. For the month of March, we cleared 6,100. For May, it just passed. Hold on, I said May that just passed. May this week that just passed for this past week, just in May that just passed, $930. So I only called out a few trades, and these are net profits. So you see the one trade that I had our team cut early, which was a meta trade, down 13%. We still cleared over $900 in net profit for the week. For the month of May thus far, we already at 1,600. So this is per single option. So when I say per single option, that means that for every trade that I alert in the chat, if you only grab one stock option per trade alert, this is including the wins and the losses. So these are net profits. You are already up $1,600 on the month. And you see, I called out very few trades this month so far. So let's just go ahead and move on. Okay, market talk, market talk, market talk. All right. So let's just go ahead and start things. I just want to start off by just saying the word of the day is psychology or trading psychology, right? And this is important because I'll give you all a few examples. But the thing is, with options trading or anything, a lot of people be in over their heads trying to do what everybody else do. And it's not beneficial to your overall success as a trader. I'll give you an example. On Thursday, I was on Zoom with my team and we were foxing CBNA the day after earnings. I liked the way it was setting up and I felt like we were going to have a trade. So we all on live stream together, waiting for the setup to happen. And I put the team in the trade. I told them exactly what the setup was. And I also I told them where it had room down to if we were to get a little retest. And then there was a situation where one of the traders, they told me, they said, oh, I jumped out of the trade. And I'm like, so I started asking probing questions, I'm like, well, when did you get out of the trade? And it was like, when it pulled back. I'm like, well, why did you do that? And the reason they did that is because they had 4 contracts. And the thing is, I'm like, you're supposed to trade your level. And if you're not comfortable going down 10%, 5% on a trade, most of the time it's because you're over leveraging or it just could be a trade that's too expensive for your trading psychology at this moment. You don't have to trade everything. You don't have to go in every situation. You got to trade your level. And so that's why I always tell my team, and that's why, every time I give the updates, and one of the biggest things we talk about around here is one single trade per option, one contract killers. Because the thing is, when you're buying that support or playing these stocks at key levels or playing breakouts, but you know exactly what the real range is and how to get the most out of a trade, you don't need a whole bunch of contracts. And I'm never going to buy a bunch of contracts at the expense of my comfortability, because my confidence. I can only be as confident as as I'm comfortable in the trade. If I'm not comfortable, you can't be confident. That's just not going to happen. So, everybody just need to trade their level and just work on that trading psychology. There's nothing wrong with buying one contract, until you get comfortable. And even after you get comfortable, it's just like you got to trade these ranges and do the best that you can do. KK, do you have anything you want to add or anything you wanted to talk about?
I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like I'm fairly new to trading. I mean, I've been trading for some years, but I'm still a baby, and I'm very comfortable with one contract, and if you see the posts in our group, I make a lot of money from doing just one contract. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go and get a bunch of contracts if you're going to be uncomfortable, because that's what's going to make you lose money. And
Uh,
so that day was that trade, that was definitely a trade. Like, you came in, you already gave us the levels. It was following what the plan was. And you know unfortunately somebody jumped out before the bigger move happened. But at the end of the day, that's why we have you to guide us, and listening and following that process is going to be fruitful.
Well, shout out to you though, because in that same trade, you interrupted and was like, I don't know why you got out of that trade. It's going in the money. Look at the price action. It came back and retested where he said it was going to retest. It's going in the money, and it went in the money.
Mhm. Absolutely.
It went in the
Absolutely.
money. Yeah. So it's about really understanding. Like, everybody talk that talk. They want to use buzzwords like price action and market structure and stuff like that. But when it's time, or support and resistance, key levels, but when it's time to really live in that moment, they can't
Hmm.
even reload the magazine. They're handshaking and they fumbling.
Hmm.
And this ain't to downplay anybody, but nah, like it's tough love around here. And when I say
Absolutely.
tough love, it's not like it's never a problem. I'm on my Deion Sanders, if you want to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you that tough love where I'm trying to motivate you and inspire you too. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. We'll be on Zoom, and I'll ask the team in a minute, like, are you scared? Y'all scared yet?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And then we're like, nah, this is what it's supposed to do. Remember what I said. Don't worry. This is what's going on. Now, this is the case right here. And then it's like, I love those moments. I love when I can help the team through a situation. Like, I'll give you another example. So on Friday, there was a meta trade. Now, I'd already alerted the TDD trade on Friday morning. That trade went up 150% profit. You know what I mean? I said, you know what? Let me go ahead, and I was already in meta puts. Meta my stock. I traded like my left hand, right? And with my right hand. And it's just like so I was already in puts. And I said, okay, this thing about to flush some more. I'm gonna put the team in a quick trade, but I'm gonna label it risky, because I know it's a lot of people in the chat that if I label something risky, they're not gonna touch it, because for a number of reasons. But most people, they're not gonna touch anything risky, and plus they already made 150% off of the TTD trade, so everybody don't have to jump in this. Anyway, the meta trade went on to profit over north of 70% profit, and but then meta started to bounce and go the other way. And so, and one of the traders in the chat, she asked me, she was like, well, I'm thinking about buying Meta calls. Now, Meta had already ran like $8 the other way now, up. And I said, no, I wouldn't even buy Meta calls right here, because I'm bearish on it. I'm still in puts.
Right.
And then like I think it was maybe like 5 or 10 minutes later, Meta flushed, and or it was flushed throughout the rest of the day, and it ended up dying. It died. But the whole point is, it's like, even when Meta was retesting and going the other way, I was never not confident in what I had going on because I'm gonna follow the price action every time, and it's gonna be my setup. You know, I'm gonna follow my setup. I'm gonna trade my setup. That's where the confidence comes in because it's a lot of people out here who trade. Anybody can make money when the market is going in one direction. Even a caveman can make money when the market is going in one direction. But to be able to believe in it and stand behind them trades when there's a little volatility or when there's a retest, and but if you really talking that market structure shit, you know, then you should be able to, you know, you got to stand on that when things go against you too. Or when I cut a meta trade earlier in the week, I think it was on Monday, maybe on a day that I don't even trade. I cut a meta trade down 30 down. No, it was on Wednesday. It was FOMC day, another day that I really don't trade. Cut a meta trade down 13%. A trade that was already up 15%. Cut it down 30% because the structure broke. You know, you gotta stick to those things and you gotta have them in the back. You gotta really have them definitives in your head because if you don't, you're just out here trading and doing anything. And that's why you're not confident in the trade. And it's just gonna be like that sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Um, that's why I won't like when you called the trade. I didn't take that trade. I don't trade. That Friday is not my good trading day. So I don't trade those days. And I'm okay with that. You know, and you but I'm never going to tell you, "Oh, I trade on this day or I trade on this day." I can tell you the days that I think are better, but I'm never going to tell you I can trade that day cuz I'm going to play what the market give me.
See, I'm glad you said that though, because look, so y'all already know, according, like I have an options trading Bible. You know, everybody need to read the options trading Bible. But in the options trading Bible, I say there are two trading. If there were two trading days that I would not trade, it would be Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays are indecision days, and Wednesdays are lower volume days. But that doesn't mean that I may not pop out on a Monday if there's a catalyst in trade, or I see my setup and there's volume and everything is all the stars are aligning. You know, same thing. So just like you said, with regards to people just be looking forward to certain days and saying, "Oh, we're going to trade this day. We're going to trade this day." I designate my live streams for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are my best trading days. Friday is a toss up because Friday is a YOLO day for the most part. A lot of people have trouble on Fridays and they're not really, you know, so it's just Friday is a good day for whoever. But I'm saying like if those days I got them designated for live streaming. But like I said, there'll be days where I'm not feeling it on a Tuesday. I don't see a setup and I'm just not in the zone to trade. And I don't want to sit in the casino, you know, just sitting there with my wallet saying, I ain't gonna bet today, but I'm gonna sit here. Then you're gonna end up jumping in something. So you should have parameters in place to make sure you don't do those things, right? And so but I'm never gonna say I'm never gonna like solidify that I'm gonna trade one day or not because if my setup, no trade. That's just gonna always be the case, regardless of what you say or how you look at it. And but I will say, like a lot of people take what we say to heart and not look at it as tough love. I want you to win. And y'all come in here, you pay money to come into this community, and you come in here with these expectations. That's fine. I'm gonna live up to every single expectation, but you have to live up to my expectations too. And what I mean is like we have onboarding materials. When you first come into you join the community, you're gonna get a DM, an automatic DM. It's going to tell you to go to the start here. It's going to hit the start here. You go to the start here section of the community. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know, where this is, where that is. And a matter of fact, I'm just going to bring it up there for a second just because why not? Start here. You bring it up. Yeah, we're gonna get into the Fed and we're gonna get into everything else, but this is important. So start here. I'm gonna make this a little larger, but we're in market talk right now. So this is important because if you don't know how to navigate the platform, then you know what's the point? So, you know, in here it tells you immediately. If you're a free member, you know, if you're a free member, you got access to certain things and you can you know, whatever. But first thing it tells you, check your email for a Launchpad's link to unlock all premium channels. And we get a whole lot of questions about how to join, and I already paid and I don't know what to do. Second thing, because I think this is most important to everybody, see my trades. Here they go in here. Get a market plan or see what's going on. This is where I post watch list setups and real-time observation and the market talk channel. So all of this information is out here. Live streaming. This is where we do our live streams at. And it's designated here, gives the times and everything. So when people join the community, and the first thing they come in there and says, where the live stream at? I joined for the live stream. What channel? What days are the live streams on? I'm like, I know they skipped over the onboarded materials. And they start asking, what channel does the trades gets called out in? Okay, there we go. And here we go. Before trading. Now here goes our main chat right here for the whole team where we talk at. And before you start trading, every new trader should go ahead and hit the checklist. Everybody should click on and check out the Bible. So, speaking of that Bible, let's open it up for a second. Let's just open up the Bible for a second. So again, it's just like it's not a whole lot of stuff in here. It's not a whole lot of stuff in here for you to read. But just look at it. Just take a look at it. Time management, I got it broken out in sections. Time management, risk management. I'm just going to talk about like a few things in here. When in doubt, zoom out. If the chart story is unclear, or if you're uncertain about a trade, zooming out to a higher time frame can provide a broader perspective and help you see the overall trend or pattern. Most people don't do that. They're not really paying attention. Understanding market patterns. I see Britton when she highlighted this part. Know the weekly rhythms. Mondays are often a tricky start, filled with indecision and choppiness. Wednesdays, on the other hand, can be quieter with lower volume. If I had to choose 2 days not to trade, these would be it. So the information is here, and when I came up with this Bible, I thought about everything that I went through or that we went through as a team in this community. And one sec. One sec. Yeah, the trading Bible. Like I said, we got all of this in here. And again, this is a public document, so anybody can go and check out the Trading Bible. This information is available free to everybody to go view if they want to go view it. So there we go. But yeah, so let's just I just wanted to kind of run through it a little bit. I ain't gonna go into too much depth into the Trading Bible. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff in the community for you to just go through. KK, do you have anything you want to say?
Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, Antoine has said it multiple times. I laminated the trading checklist, and every trade that I ever did, I ran through those questions until I knew them by heart, until it became a part of my trading. So, like, I think it's a great tool. The options trading Bible, like, really highlights the things that I see in the chat that get the most questions. So it's like there's an answer here for you if you would look for it, because these things are already published. We don't have a problem with helping you and helping anyone, because I want everybody, as Antoine said, for everybody to win in the chat. But it takes due diligence, like, to be at the level that I believe everybody would like to be. Like, it takes work, it takes time. And like, shout out ECF, because that's one of our, he's big in our chat, and we gave him the blues, Antoine.
Yeah, when he first started, right? Yeah, but the thing was with him though, he said he didn't care about getting feedback. He was cool with it. He did his coaching and he would come in there and if he, like, let's say, because he posts a lot of relevant information in there and it helps out a lot of people. and he's reading the price action in real time. He made a lot of money last week too. Shout out to him. And he took a break from trading, came back, and he's hit the ground and just been crushing everything. But I just want to say I'm glad you mentioned him because we did give him the blues. He would post something in the chat and it would get corrected, but he didn't care. He was cool with that. What did he say? He made a comment. He said something.
He said, yeah, like, I don't mind anybody. I would like the feedback because that's how he was going to get better. He was just giving us. He's like, I'm just saying my thoughts because he wanted to accept the feedback for us to correct him. So I think that was, that's solid. And yeah, he, like you said, he burnt Lily down with you, and that was crazy, crazy trade.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, look, we ain't gonna talk y'all off talk too much about everything, but it's just important to know because a lot of people they want to join the community. They come in, and I just want to make sure everybody's starting and doing their due diligence and doing what they're supposed to do. Because again, everybody is not gonna always remember. Like and nobody want to come to the meetings. It was a lot of people when I canceled the meeting earlier because of Mother's Day. It was a lot of happy faces that the meeting was
Mm-hmm.
canceled, but not KK. She hit me early this morning, was like, I know it's Mother's Day. Whatever you do, please don't cancel the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
know, but this is important. Everybody want to show up when the market open. Everybody, they don't want to take this stuff seriously. It's only important when the market open. But then y'all have the questions that I can answer during the meeting, and y'all want to answer them during combat. And I got a $3 million trade that got to be executed in the next 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on now. And that's just everybody know when I say that what I mean, because so we ain't got to go into details about it. But the thing is, just make it got to be important to you at all times. It should not be this isn't a hobby for me. This is my career. This is what I do full time. This is why I'm able to travel and do what I want to do. This is why I was able to fire my job. This is, going on 5 years. This is our fifth year in this community, running this community now, and we're going up. Like I said, like shout out to everybody doing what they're doing, but until they doing it this long and growing the way we growing, then it is what it is. But like I say, ain't no competition over here. I'm all about collaboration and making money.
Right. Definitely.
So, but yeah, let's hop into a few charts though, because
Yeah.
there's some charts out. But I think before we get into charts, let's go into this economic data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Fed speakers this week. We got Kugler at Monday at 10:25 a.m. We got Waller. Again, Waller is somebody you got to watch out for, but they speaking at 5:15 a.m. on Wednesday. Okay. Uh, we got Vice Chair Jefferson speaking Wednesday at 9:10, 20 minutes before the market open. We got Daly. They got her speaking, but it's okay. It's Wednesday after at 5:40 p.m. Market is closed, so I'm not going to say we don't have to really worry about that. But Fed Chair Powell, they sending him back out there Thursday at 8:40 a.m. Not sure what he's talking about. Got to look into that a little bit more. We got Barr coming out there on Thursday at 2:05, and then we got Daly. They sending her out there again, but that's at 9:40 p.m. on Friday. Economic data. We got CPI Tuesday. We got PPI Wednesday. We got CPI Tuesday. We got, they moved CPI to PPI to Thursday. So we got CPI Tuesday. We got PPI Thursday. We got retail sales data Thursday. Oh, they up to something. They did something. One's gonna offset the other. Watch. And they got a NY Fed Manufacturing Index. That threw me off for a second. That threw me off for a second. We got Philly Fed Manufacturing Index Thursday. We got building permits Friday, housing starts Friday, consumer sentiment Friday, and we got inflation expectations Friday. So we got a
Ooh.
lot. But look, but over the weekend, the president and the president's been tweeting. I mean, KK, you saw a lot of the stuff that he's been talking about. Besant in that meeting, the trade talks went well.
Mm-hmm.
Besant said we have made substantial progress in trade talks with China. Besant said we will be giving more details on Monday. So the future's already gapped up, right now, and it's just a lot going on. It's just so it looked like everything is going fine thus far. So we'll have to see what happened. And Besson said more trade deals could be coming as soon as this week, and that's according to Fox News. It's a lot of stuff. So it looked like the trade talks went very well. So we'll see what happens. And again, like I said, these are things that I'm watching this week. And I think retail sales is going to be another one to keep an eye on. So let's go ahead and hit some charts. It's always good to hit some charts. How you feel about that, KK?
Absolutely.
Love a few
But
charts. So what you say?
when you got something to study, it makes trading so much easier.
It
Remember when
does.
Jason said you make it real easy to trade in your community.
But that's if you want to trade. If you really, this is what you really want to do, we got you. You serious and you're about your money, this is the place for you. If not,
Absolutely.
it's gonna be hell for you. Because like I said, I take trading very seriously. Let me switch my screen. All right, you see, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Screen two. All right. I guess I'll start with CBNA since it's already on the screen. I wasn't gonna start with this one, but I'll start with it. Okay. Yeah. So here's CBNA. So it went up, rejected here, came back down. So we got a nice 222 reversal here on CBNA, and it looked like it wants to close this gap. It almost down here at the bottom of the gap fill. It could actually bounce right there. But you see, I also have this trend. This trend was here before that breakout again, right? And so we could see it probably retest this area, and then it could retest this area, close that gap, bounce, or it can come back down because at the end of the day, we got a few levels here. There's another gap fill here, but then there's also a trend line here, another level of support. So for this one, I mean, but at the same time, most of the time they complete these moves. But with the market gapping up, with everything gapping up, we could get a gap up first. What I'll say is just watch out for this one because they had a nice earnings and but it gave the move back the day after. So what I'll say for this one, puts under 267.61. First target would be 262. My second target would be 258.64. It should bounce there. If not, we got a long way down, probably to 250, then 245, 241. Now, if we can clear 240, 284.23, look for a move back over 295 and then so on. You see, we got a lot of levels we can extend to. But if you want to play this, on another way, like I said, just watch the market structure. But it went up. It got a nice double top here. So it's probably going to come down. But but at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it bounces here. And you can play it off that bounce too, as opposed to waiting for the trigger for calls. You can play it off the bounce. If it bounces and give you some stability off of this level here. So there's that. TTD. I didn't want to hit TTD though. I'm mission right now. To Meta. Meta, we got a 222 reversal right here on Meta on the daily. Y'all gotta excuse my chart. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use a different chart for Meta. Get rid of these other. Come back to. Yeah, all it looks the same everywhere. So it's all good. Cool. Just my Meta chart. So we got a 222 reversal here on Meta. I mean, it looked like it wants to go lower. So we're gonna keep an eye on Meta. But if Meta loses that 591.71, look for a move back down to 588, 585, 581, 575. So that's a long way down for Meta if that's the case, right? If we were to clear, Meta finds a way, which it has many times, find a way back over 606.97, look for a move back over 610.11, then 620, and then back to 629.21. That's what I would look for Meta. Here's the weekly, so you can see we got a nice inverse hammer. I was telling you the other day, but the way if you zoom out for a second, you see Meta finished at a key level right here. So although we got this inverse hammer, it may bounce here, and the market's bouncing right now. So we'll see what actually happens. You got to always zoom out sometimes when there's a lot of noise on the chart. But you know, we're gonna follow the price action. That's what we do. Monday.com. So Monday.com reports earnings Monday morning before the open. And this is the chart heading into Monday morning's print. We got over 282.99. Look for a move back over 284.41, 289.20, 296.88. If we were to lose that 270.07, look for a move back down to 263.55, 263, 260.69, and 256.01. Keep Monday.com on watch. I like this nice consolidation right here, bull flagging, heading into the print. That doesn't mean anything. Everything is based off what the data is and what the guidance is. Monday.com is set up really nicely though. I like when prices stack nicely over all of the EMAs like it is right now. App loving. Shout out to App loving. Beautiful chart right here. App loving. Still holding this breakout, but you know, I'm gonna actually do this differently. So many patterns on the chart, you know. It's all about what you're seeing. So many patterns on the chart everywhere. But anyhow, so we got app loving right here. And we got a gap fill. It looked like it wanted the gap fill. It rejected the bottom of the gap fill here. Oh, yeah, it went up in there, came back down, and it's still holding that original trend breakout. But it's a support level right here also that it's still holding. So you get a pullback, but you got to also zoom and pay attention to what's really going on here. There we go. So just marking this chart up a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, app loving. Chart looks nice. I like it a lot. And if we are able to make a move, because it looked like it may hold this level here. It looked like it's trying to hold here. It's marking up the downside too. Mark that gap fill area too. And but yeah, so if we're able to clear 351.38, we can possibly move. But you know, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it until it clears 353.98 for a move back to 375.34. That would be my first target. Over 375, then we're gonna take out that 400 again. Now, if we were to lose that 328.52, look for a retest of 305.54, 304.51, 329, I'm sorry, 229.62, and so on. Keep app loving on watch. They had earnings last week. Stock ran, pulled back. Okay, Google. Because Google had a sell-off last week because it's not so Apple's talking about removing Google as its as Safari's search engine. You know, Google make billions of dollars, over $26 billion a year just by being the primary or being the search engine inside of Safari on your iPhone, right? And so Apple said that that searches have declined. So now they're looking for other AI methods. Now you know Chat GPT is already integrated in your iPhone already. And the fact that during that Apple did not, I'm sorry, that Apple didn't mention anything about using Gemini instead. Man, look, this is what happened on Wednesday when it flushed and my team was in it. You know, we had a nice bearish engulfing right here. But then we had an inside day and then it broke down. So we got what is that, a three? That's a three. Yeah, a 312 down. So it looked like it's more downside for Google to come. I would keep Google on watch because this thing is not done selling off yet. And Just show y'all something. Okay, this was a bear flag right here. Hold on a second. Crazy how this stuff be setting up, right? So broke out of that to the downside. So we got some downside left. And look at this whole move down. This could get ugly for Google. I don't know if they're gonna let it get that ugly, but it can be. It can get ugly because now stocks like this, of course, Google is resilient. They're gonna find a way to come through. But at the same time, right now, well, you know how it is, and right now we're in this when you got crazy situation. There's some uncertainty in the stock in the market. People like to sell. People aren't really trying to sit in here and hold through this volatility. That's a lot of volatility. That's a lot to ask for your share from your shareholders, you know. But then some people they're gonna buy because it's on sale, just because, you know. But I think Google will make it through this situation. So anyway, if we were to lose, if we were to lose this 152.20, I'm looking for a move back down to I said 152.20. I'm looking for a move back down there to 145, then 142.47, 140.53, and then possibly even lower. So it's a lot to keep on watch for Google. If we were to clear 155.05, look for a retest of 157.07, 157.52, 157.66. Keep Google and watch. This is a bear flag. And here's when you zoom out and look at the weekly, you see we almost completed this round trip. We actually did and bounced off of that. But this is an ugly chart. Keep it on watch. And there's a reason for this volatility in Google. I got a few other charts that I'm going to hit, but I'm going to hit them in the chat. And because I did not hit a few charts that I wanted to hit, but at the same time, these are the ones that I'm going to hit for now. And I ain't gonna hold up too much of your time. Everybody have a good night. And again, happy Mother's Day. Cheers.